We are back now with more in our continuing coverage of Black History Month. There is a new documentary airing on streaming services right now that reveals a different side of the early 1960s test flight school at Edwards Air Force Base here in Kern County. It is the story of a man who might have been America's first black astronaut. Here, in recognition of Black History Month, 17's Robert Price with the story of Captain Ed Dwight.
President John F. Kennedy was famously determined to send an American to the moon by the end of the decade. Less well known was his vision for what the nation's first generation of astronauts would look like. Kennedy wanted to send a message to the world not only about America's dominance in the science of aerospace, but also to portray its enlightened society when it came to race relations. That's how, in 1962, Captain Ed Dwight, an African-American pilot from Kansas, ended up at Edwards Air Force Base in the Kern County desert. At the president's direction, Dwight was to become a candidate for the Mercury space program, training under the guidance of the legendary Chuck Yeager, the first pilot to break the sound barrier. But as described in National Geographic's new documentary, The Space Race, The Untold Story of the First Black Astronauts, Yeager didn't want anyone, even the president, forcing a black pilot on the fledgling space program, and he challenged Dwight every day.
Chuck Yeager was one of my heroes, but you got to look at it from his point of view. He was running the whole Air Force research and development arm, if you will. I mean, he was running the deal. And so the president of the United States goes outside of this man and picks some astronaut guy that Chuck Yeager's never heard of.
His social life on the base was fraught as well. Particularly memorable was the night at the officers' club that a colonel's wife asked him to dance.
I danced, but it was a fast dance. And then the next song came up, it was a slow dance. And I turned to go back to my buddies, and she grabbed me and said, "You're not going anywhere."
The following Monday, he got a stern note from the base commander, the details of which he'd rather not repeat.
But that was just symptomatic of the whole atmosphere there.
Dwight stopped going to the club altogether, but he still had Saturday night options, including Bakersfield.
And we partied every weekend, yeah. And if you'd asked me the name of a nightclub, I couldn't even begin to tell you, because a lot of it was kind of a blur.
His days in the pre-astronaut program came to an end when President Kennedy was assassinated in November 1963. The president was killed on a Friday. By Monday, Dwight had papers in his mailbox shipping him out to Germany. The writing was on the wall. Dwight left the Air Force for the private sector and IBM in 1966. In 1977, he earned his Master of Fine Arts in Sculpture from the University of Denver. He never flew above 80,000 feet or exceeded Mach 2.4, but Ed Dwight made an indelible mark on Black history. In Bakersfield, Robert Price, 17 News.